Today is September 15th. It's the 259th day of the year, and this is the On This Day podcast. Born on this day in 1890, Agatha Miller, better known as renowned mystery novelist Agatha Christie. Always a voracious reader and detective novel fan, Christie takes a stab at writing her own mysteries. But success is elusive until 1920, when the Bodley Head Press takes a chance on her novel The Mysterious Affair at Styles. This launches her literary career. It also introduces the reading public to her most famous character, Belgian detective Hercule Poirot. She draws inspiration for her Poirot from the real-life Belgian refugees living in the town of Christie's childhood, Torquay, England. Torquay serves as the setting for some of her novels, including the world's best-selling mystery ever, And Then There Were None. Christie often uses familiar settings for her stories. While staying in the Perapalans Hotel in Istanbul, Turkey, the southern terminus of the Orient Express Railway, she writes her 1934 mystery aptly titled Murder on the Orient Express. The Middle East provides the backdrop for several of her novels, including her 1937 mystery Death on the Nile. Christie is inspired by the exotic Middle East while traveling with her second husband, archaeologist Sir Max Mallowan. During World War II, she works in the pharmacy at University College Hospital. It's here that she acquires knowledge of poisons, knowledge that she puts to good use in her post-war crime fiction. Her 1961 novel, The Pale Horse, includes a highly accurate description of thallium poisoning. So accurate that it helps baffled doctors solve a patient's case in real life. Agatha Christie is a prolific writer. Under the pen name Mary Westmacott, she writes 6 romance novels. But it's her 66 detective novels and 14 short story collections for which she becomes world famous. Hercule Poirot appears in 33 of her novels, 1 stage play, and more than 50 short stories. But he has competition in her fictional sleuthing world. Agatha Christie also creates the characters of Jane Marple, Colonel Race, Superintendent Battle, Parker Pine, Ariadne Oliver, Harley Quinn and his associate Mr. Satterthwaite, and Tommy and Tuppence Beresford. Unhappy with how her novel, The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, my favorite, is adapted for the stage, Christie begins to adapt her own works into plays. She becomes the only female playwright to have 3 plays running in London's West End at the same time. In 1952, her play The Mouse Trap debuts. Its initial theatrical run has continued uninterrupted to this day since 1952, well exceeding 25,000 performances. Despite becoming, according to the Guinness Book of World Records, the best-selling novelist of her time, and ranking behind only the Bible and William Shakespeare for the most widely published books, Agatha Christie lives a low-profile life in Winterbrook, England. Perhaps her desire for low profile stems from her high-profile 11-day disappearance. She goes missing late in a December evening in 1926. Her disappearance will be her only unsolved mystery. After an argument, Christie's husband Archie leaves their house to spend the night with his mistress. At 9:45 p.m., Agatha disappears, leaving their only child, Rosalind, asleep upstairs. Christie's car is eventually found, abandoned, perched above a chalk quarry in Newlands Corner. The hood is up and the lights are on. A bag of clothes and her expired driver's license are inside. But Agatha Christie is nowhere to be found. While she is missing, the British Home Secretary pressures the police in response to growing public outcry. Over 1,000 police officers look for the mystery writer. 15,000 volunteers provide additional support. The newspaper offers a reward. Two of Britain's most famous crime writers, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle of Sherlock Holmes fame and Dorothy L. Sayers of the Lord Peter Wimsey series, are drawn in to help with the case. For the first time, even airplanes are used as part of a search. Agatha Christie's disappearance is a big deal. 11 days later, near the end of 1926, Agatha Christie is found at the Swan Hydropathic Hotel, 172 miles away. She is registered under the name of Mrs. Teresa Neal from Cape Town. Neal is the surname of her husband Archie's lover. Christie has no memory of what happened or how she got there. Her biographer Andrew Norman will later write, quote, "I believe she was suicidal. Her state of mind was very low, and she writes about it later through the character of Celia in her autobiographical novel, Unfinished Portrait." Public reaction is negative. It's assumed this is a publicity stunt. Doctors diagnose Christie as having suffered from a fugue state, or more technically, a psychogenic trance brought on by trauma or depression. Another biographer, Jared Cade, suggests the disappearance was planned to embarrass her husband. The public assumes she's attempting to frame Archie for murder. We don't know the truth because Christie never speaks of her missing 11 days. Instead, she divorces the philandering Archie in 1928, retains her married name Christie as her last name for writing purposes, and custody of their daughter Rosalind. Christie eventually finds happiness and a long marriage with her second husband, Sir Max Mallowan. Agatha Christie, born on this day in 1890, begins to suffer from failing health at the age of 81. In contemplating her literary work, Christie desires to be known as, quote, "a good writer of detective and thriller stories." She passes away 4 years later of natural causes in 1976 at her Winterbrook home. There are 107 days left in the year. On This Day is produced by me, Dave Schultz. Thank you very much for listening. Today's episode, written by Elizabeth Schultz. On this day in 1835, HMS Beagle arrives at the Galapagos Islands. On board the Beagle is Charles Darwin, who, while at the Galapagos, looks for and finds evidence of a theory he's working on, a theory that becomes the foundation of evolutionary biology. So if you're still listening, it's always a good time for breakfast. Talk to you tomorrow.